Hello everyone and welcome back to the Model Railway series where I have an announcement. I have quit the NCMA and we are going to destroy a module. Stick around, you'll find out what I'm on about. So yeah, quite a provoking intro, I guess you could say. So not clickbait at all, I have indeed left the NCMA. Now this isn't something that was suddenly thrust into the stratosphere. It's something that's been coming for a while, and it's no real fault of the guys over at the NCMA. It's just, I think we grew too big too quick, and I overreached myself and just cannot commit to the club anymore, is the long and short of it. I stressed myself out and just, things kind of fell apart the last couple of shows. And although for me a highlight was, of course, we went back to the NEC again. Almost said NCMA. Now we went to the NEC again last month, and apart from a few niggles, generally we had a good show. But the problem was, for me at least, is the layout was almost too big, and I had overstretched myself because I took 4 modules in total. So I took two 1200 modules, one of which is in front of you here, and also the windmill module, which was very well received, seemed to be very popular. And I took the 2 corner modules as well. So as for the other part of the intro, destroying a module, it's going to be this one you see right here. Now you may look at it and go, well, doesn't seem quite the same as what I saw at the NEC, and you'd be right. Now thankfully this is what I took, and my fellow NCMA members rallied round, provided road vehicles, provided little scenic items, and Laurie very generously loaned me some buildings to fill out the spots down at the far end. So here and here, because otherwise it would have been even more bare than what you see here. And this isn't what I wanted to take at all. In fact, the only thing, or only 2 items that should have been here, apart from the track obviously, is this building and this building. No, technically more of the building. So all of the buildings actually that you can see, with exception of this station building, which is the one from Moncton Combe and stars in Titfield Thunderbolt. So this was put together very quickly on the Thursday evening before the show, and thankfully Pico did a very good job of laser cutting it. It's not finished, it's not painted completely. I did paint these and they look rather good, but you can tell the rest of it's unpainted, it's unglazed, it's unfinished, and was not really what I wanted to take. But yeah, let's get on to that. So we'll remove all the buildings first of all, and the Class O fee, because as I say, I am going to be tearing this apart. And some of the buildings aren't too bad. I mean, this one was a free kit, and you can see it just needs finishing off with a grey pencil or something such to get rid of the white lines. But for a free kit, it's not a bad little cottage. And it does match up quite well with these Metcalfe buildings. This needs some drain pipes or something to mask up these joints, which, oddly enough, if you look at the free kit, although there is a white line down there, it doesn't have this indentation. If I bring it into screen. So not quite sure what happened there, but yeah, that's those. This is another part of the Metcalfe kits, which I made as standalone. But as you can see, it's got the window. Got nerve. If it's in either of those views, it can be an industrial building. That more of a converted building. Now this, I have had this for a little while now. It is a scale model scenery building, and I did not do the roof justice. I'll be honest, I was rushing towards the end. I was trying to line these up because these are individual focus. Thank you. These are individual strips that the tiles are made of, and I need a better way of gluing them together and lining them up. The top just kept unsticking. That is part of a larger strip, also from scale model scenery. Yeah, overly engineered. I mean, if we take a look inside, I guess so you can have the doors open, but the walls are lined, and it's crazy that they went to that level of detail, and it's quite a reasonable cost as well. Now this is an old Airfix building, and the ridge tiles again using scale model scenery because they're kind of messed up with gluing the beam that comes. It doesn't quite fit, and it just made an awful mess, so I've covered it. Yes, the shops have been customized because as the kit comes, it should be one large shop. And as you can see, I made it kind of a tribute to Andy York, who sadly passed away at the beginning of this year, and Phil Parker, who, although it's a DIY store, he is a very practical person with model railways, and he does inspire me a lot to actually have a go. And indeed, I probably wouldn't have even joined the NCMA if it wasn't through watching the videos that Phil Parker's produced and the magazine articles and going, you know, I could possibly do this, and unless I try, I'll never know. So yeah, I am going to find a place for this somewhere, somehow, because yeah, it was the first building I built for it, and I think it came out quite well considering it is a basic Airfix dapole building. So yeah, so that's all the buildings off. The fence just laid on. Some of the bushes didn't stick, so they can be taken away. And I have this lovely box to store it in, and we're going to peel off the rest because I plan to reuse it. There we go, and just get in there and tear off all of this as well. And bear with me a second, just getting a bit warm, so really move my top. So, scenic material removed as much as I realistically think I can. And now we go hardcore. Actually, let's put the tab on that, because this was never supposed to have a station building, and the station was kind of a last minute addition to fill out the board, because I realised that all the buildings that I had planned were never going to be in place in time. So the road layout changed a bit. So the original concept for this module was the edge of a town, village, and there was going to be a market place going on with market stalls. And I have the kits for those, but they never came out with the storage because I just ran out of time. And even the station wasn't straightforward. So if I bring you down a little. So this is Mark 3 of the platform. The first one never really made it to the board because the idea for it was using magazine free kits and stuff, but it wasn't deep enough. And so Mark 2 was using some card. Okay, no idea what just fell in the background there, but yeah, Mark 2 was using some card that I painted, similar to what can be seen over here. And after experimenting with the painting, the card surface all bubbled up, and this was 11:20 on Thursday evening. Now bear in mind, I had to load up either Thursday night or first thing Friday morning and head off to the show. So I knew I wouldn't be getting much sleep. And as it happens, I went to bed 3 a.m. ready for a 6 a.m. get up. So yeah, this is Mark 3 though, and is again some cardstock that was spray painted. And actually, it's a shame to pull this off because, with the exception of there's a line here and a dark smudge there, I really like the effect that come out. So this was literally using my bath as a spray booth, covered it with plastic sheeting, and so I had the extractor fan going and a mask, and yeah, I just went over it lightly with a grey aerosol, and this was the result. And it's a shame to pull it up, but as I say, the whole module has got to go, so at least I know the technique should I ever want to do it again. And there it goes. And the reason I've got to pull this off and can't save the platform is I need to get to the screws underneath. And also it'll give you a little sneak peek of how this was built. So get rid of all this card, and if I can get a grip somewhere. There we go. Is there any more screws hiding anywhere? Don't think so. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I believe. Right, so bear with me a second while I throw this card away and grab a screwdriver. Okay, I am back. So also brought a large flat blade screwdriver for the next step. But let's just go ahead and remove all these screws. Okay, that should be it all unscrewed. And the exception of one, and I don't know why that's not coming up, but does mean that I can now remove the large plank that was the station. As you can see, I used some brick paper, and that went all the way around with varying success, and I've caught the edge and ripped a bit there. Yeah, that's platform gone. Well, platform gone, except for this piece of paper which has stuck to the cork / edging material. Which, talking of cork, that is the next thing to go. So, large flat blade screwdriver, and I know for a fact it's going to be awkward and not come up with one go. But yeah, it's all got to go. As well as this was just I think it's 500 grit? No, 400 grit, sorry. Wet and dry for the road surface, and that didn't stick very well either. So it's no great heartbreak to be ripping this all up. I'm going to try and just, if I can, preserve the edge of the grass. So here, front edge, and likewise on the far end of the board. Although, now I'm not part of the NCMA, I guess it's not so critical that I have that static grass on the end of the boards, because that is one of the things that I did like about the NCMA and do agree with wholeheartedly, is standardising on the ballast and the static grass used to match the edge of the boards up. And then in the middle here, do whatever you like. But keep the ends universally symmetrical by using the same products. And yeah, normally what I do is I put an extra layer of static grass elsewhere, but I didn't even get to do that on this front edge because I was so short of time. So normally I would layer up. So one thing, the PVA certainly held on this cork, so I'm going to go strip that. You don't need to watch me chiseling away with a screwdriver and potentially stabbing myself. So I will be back with you in a second. And so, after quite a bit of work and a bucket full of scrap, cork and what have you, it's pretty much clear. It will need sanding, and that's something I can't do today because it would need taken outside and power tool and just, yeah, cleaning off. But you can see the orange lines that show where the roadway was going to go when I was measuring it out. House 1, house 2, some rough outlines for the other buildings, question marks everywhere. So it kind of shows what was planned. Big takeaway for this video though, for you guys, if you've made it this far, is if you build something and you're not happy with it, don't be afraid to strip it away and start again, or strip away part of it and modify it, do whatever. Just don't sit on a model you're not happy with and keep it in perpetuity, because you'll never be happy with it. You're not going to fall in love with it eventually. if you're not in love with it now. It's not going to get any better, guys and girls. So yeah, if it needs to be done, it needs to be done. And this board will get reused. Not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. Whether I keep it as a single track here, or do I use it as one half of a rebuild on Outwell Basin. So if we just come up here, you can see in the background we have Outwell Basin, which is 1.8 meters long and was my first NCMA module build. Now, I made quite a few mistakes with this. One, I ordered two 900mm boards because I wasn't originally going to build that. I had other plans and they would have easily fitted in 1800mm. But to do Outwell Basin justice, it needs to be longer, and the loop is not long enough. And the point's a small radius, which the NCMA, it does specify medium radius points or larger for the main line. So there was a lot of compromises with that. And at the time I went, oh, these boards are really light. Let's have it bolted together permanently because I have a long enough vehicle. So yeah, we'll do that. However, over time, it's been moved around and the boards are starting to fail. Whilst it sits there, it's absolutely fine. And if I just lift up, you can see we've got some train sat on there and it will run perfectly fine. However, it can't go anywhere. If I tried taking this to another show, it would snap in half. You can kind of see on the join the tape's bubbled. That's where it's moving. Every time it goes out, the bottom piece has snapped and I've kind of pushed it back on. But yeah, maybe I get another 1200 board or even something longer, mate to this board down here, and we have ourselves a longer Outwell Basin Mark II. Or maybe I'll do something else. Let me know down in the comments if you've any ideas what we could turn this board into. Anyway, that's going to be it for this one, guys. If you made it this far, thank you very much for sticking with me. If you're disappointed that we still don't have a Transport Fever 2 video, unfortunately it's not working at the moment. I get to 97% loaded and the game just crashes. And that's even happening if I try a new game. So I need to fix that. Hopefully the Finland map will come back at some point. But in the meantime, we've got model railways and maybe we'll look at something else as well. So with that said, thank you ever so much for watching and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.